This is the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish, founder of Abish Financial Services.
And I'm Heather Branch here with Abe, asking for his insight on the things you can be working on now to better prepare for your financial future. As you get closer to your retirement goal, you know you got to have that plan in place, but it can be an intimidating process, Abe. That's why we need you here to help us figure it out. There is a lot to put into order, but your entire team at Abish Financial Services is here to help us get that plan in place. So theretirementkey.com is where you can go to start that conversation. We also have links posted in the show notes, or again, theretirementkey.com. We were talking in our last week's recording about how you have come to this place in your life where you decided that running 45 miles on your 45th birthday was the best way to celebrate, despite the disagreement you get from me and the other people in your life.
You know, life is short, and I love challenges, and I love competition.
Now, some might argue that running 45 miles is going to make your life shorter, but you took on the challenge for your 45th birthday. So here we are on the flip side of that run. You have finished. I was saying, how do you feel? It's been a week since that run, and you're still experiencing a little bit of the soreness.
I feel great. You know, after something like that, you're kind of like on a high, and you just want to conquer more and do more, and I think really that's what life is all about. And so you don't have to run 45 miles, but get out there and push yourself and challenge yourself and grow. Try to grow in all areas of your life, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually. That's what I encourage. And I can't imagine living life any other way. And, you know, I will say, you know, one of my mentors really inspired me to do this, but then also one of our brand new clients has been a huge inspiration as well.
Yeah.
He's run 118 ultra marathons, two of which, and this guy is 62.
Yeah.
Two of which have been over 100 miles. I'm talking running, not driving, people. Not driving, running. And so, hey, you're never too old to pursue your dreams.
Keep pushing. You got to keep going, right?
Yes,
it's not
right.
It's not over till it's over when it comes to all things in life and the life you want to live. So it's not lost on me, the work that you do, helping people. We often talk about this work that you do, helping folks in retirement, but I love the way you talk about the second phase of your financial life. It's not like some sort of winding it down, wrapping things up. We're just entering the next phase.
Correct.
And it's a very important thing that you do, because when it comes to our financial perspective, there is a lot of shifting that we have to do mentally to get into that right headspace for our retirement years.
Absolutely.
And the other point that we feel it's important to make is to let folks know the work that you do at Abish Financial Services, because a lot of folks do seek financial help and assistance in their working years when it comes to growing their money. And perhaps somebody listening to us right now has thought about reaching out to you, but then the weight of, what is that going to entail for me as a saver, as an investor, the paperwork, all of this involved. Or if they worked with a financial advisor, sometimes they just get stressed thinking about the load they'll have to bear in the transition process. So that's what I wanted to ask you about, Abe, the idea of somebody who maybe has worked with a financial advisor, but you're deciding there's a change that you need to make. And for some of the common reasons why that might happen, your advisor might be retiring. Maybe you think that their fees are too high. The portfolio performance is not as strong as you would like it to be. You want more guidance in more areas, all reasons that people have come to you, Abe. So thinking about the idea of changing an advisor, though, that can be very intimidating. If somebody is thinking about doing this, let's talk about how you make that transition easier for people.
Sure. And we really hold people's hands throughout the whole process, Heather. And we do understand how it can appear to be daunting and intimidating. You know, sometimes things as simple as going to the dentist and doctor can seem intimidating, probably for us guys more than us ladies. And sometimes we put things off that we know are probably really good for us. But then when we do those good things in life that we know are good for us and we know we need to do, we always feel better about them. And financial planning and retirement planning is similar. And if you're listening right now and you've listened to us for a long time and you're not a client of Abish Financials, then you're either a client of another firm's or you're a successful do-it-yourself investor and you've managed your own finances perhaps a lot or all of your life. So whether you're a successful do-it-yourself investor or working with another firm, if you are considering engaging us in that complimentary second opinion or where do I stand plan, getting an in-depth analysis on everything you have with your retirement plan. We understand that can be intimidating and daunting, but it doesn't have to be. So what our process looks like, Heather, we have a trademarked retirement key process. And that first step is simply collecting information from a prospective client to see if it makes sense to take the next steps in meeting with our advisory team. So we're going to want to know, okay, for the most part, our clients are 55 to 75 years old. Are you in that range, or are you 35, right? If you're 35, probably don't need to be meeting with us. You got quite a ways until you retire. If you're 45, maybe it makes sense to speak to somebody, but you also still have a solid 20 years in front of you probably until you retire. But if you're 55, 65, 70, you are thinking about retirement or already there. And if you're working with another firm, over 90% of our industry, the big firms you know of, if I mention them, over 90% of our industry are what we call phase one, accumulation-based, investment-focused firms, helping people get to retirement by saving and accumulating. The large and vast focus in those discussions is on rate of return, what you're making, diversification, and really, how are we doing? Are you accumulating? Are you making money? But then you get to 55, 60, 65, and you're like, okay, well, I have several million now, $1 million, $3 million, $5 million, whatever it is. I think this might be enough, or I feel like I'm getting darn close to having enough. I can also take Social Security soon. I can take a pension soon. I want to start thinking about retiring. And you know what? If I'm working with a phase one firm, I'm asking my guy or gal about all these things in phase two, and I'm not getting clear, concise answers and advice and guidance. If you're getting generic advice, oh, just take 4% out of your investments every year. Oh, just take Social Security at 70 because that's when it's the largest benefit. You need to start speaking to a phase two planner and firm, and that's us. Also, if you're a successful do-it-yourself investor and you have enough saved, is this something that you really want to be pursuing throughout your entire retirement? Do you really want to be looking at the stock market often and making all these decisions, or do you want to be living in retirement? Some of you may say, well, I really enjoy it, and that's fine. You know, we probably won't work together if you really love and enjoy watching it every day, but our clients don't want to watch it every day. They want to live retirement and get on their boats and travel, be with their grandkids, and do everything without worrying about money. With that said, it can still be a daunting process, so we collect some information up front to make sure it makes sense to take the next steps. We get statements, your positions, so that way we can give you an analysis, right? We go under the hood on all of your investments, the pros and cons of what you've done today, so you can make a good, educated decision on whether to stay the current path or make a change and perhaps hire us. That's what the process up front looks like. It's really a meeting to two. Then if you become a client, we typically meet quarterly with our clients 4 times a year to make sure we're keeping up with the plan. And usually within a few weeks to maybe a month, maybe a little bit more, your entire phase 2 retirement plan can be set up. Okay. And we hold your hands throughout the whole process when it comes to transfers and rollovers and account setup, account closing, and all these things. And it really can be, you know, it might seem like it's a lot up front, but then when you look at your entire life to take care of a huge life event and a shift and change in a plan that can be done in maybe 30 to 60 days, that's a short period of time and some short-term, quote-unquote, pain to make that major change and transition. And it is worth it. It's your life. This is your life. This is your life savings. So hopefully that helps explains kind of how our process works for listeners now. And we just had a lady that came in from Vienna. She has a few $1 million saved. She's in her mid-60s, retiring in the next 2 to 3 years. This was her biggest concern, Heather, is I've been working with a friend and lady advisor friend of mine for 30 years, Abe. And while I love what you're telling me and what your firm's advising on, I also really like this person. But I now see distinct, clear differences in the plan. In my phase 1 plan versus the phase 2 plan you're offering. I see distinct, clear differences. This is a tough decision for me. Let me think about it a little bit. And after a few meetings, she made the switch after working with her advisor for 30 years. Still friends with this person. That's a big decision. It's a tough decision, but it's a business decision. And that friendship is still intact. And if they're a real friend, if that advisor's a real friend, they're going to respect the decision and want what's best for you. So while that may seem daunting in kind of breaking up with a former relationship, it's actually also pretty easy. And what we do for our clients, Heather, our clients coming over from an existing relationship, is we give them what we call breakup language. And our clients laugh. But really what it says is, hey, Heather, thank you for all your help over the years. You helped us so much in growing our portfolio, but we're moving to a retirement planning specific firm for this next season of our lives. Thank you so much. Just wanted to give you a heads up, but we don't need to meet again. That's really helpful for clients as they're transitioning from an existing relationship.
Okay.
Because then the existing advisor gets a phone call or an email.
Sure.
It's not, hey, money's out the door and where are you going? They are notified and showing respect for that relationship. So this lady in Vienna realized she had a phase 1 plan that was just accumulation, investment-based focused. She needed consolidation. She needed help with all these decisions in phase 2. Social Security, pension decision, long-term care, estate planning for her kids, and that was the solution. So if you're listening right now and you say, you know what, I'm either a successful do-it-yourself investor or I have been working, Abe, with an advisor for a long time, and I feel like I'm not getting the value that I need. I feel like I do have that phase 1 plan.
Yeah.
While the focus is on investments and while my money's growing and the market's up, that's good. I'm also concerned about protecting it, generating income, protecting myself and my family from all the risks that can mess up a fantastic accumulation plan. So if you sound like this lady from Vienna, Virginia, and you are also working with an advisor or have worked with an advisor for a long time, you know, this lady worked with someone, a friend, for 30 years, and she made the switch and came over to us because in the distinct, clear differences in the phase 1 and phase 2 planning. Go to our website, theretirementkey.com. Click on the Contact Us tab at the top of the page, and we can begin to have these same conversations with you as well.
We also have links posted in the show notes, so you can just click there, or again, find us anytime, theretirementkey.com. All right, so aside from having to perhaps break up with a growth advisor in our retirement years, something else that people might not get right is the idea of making sure that their income plan actually aligns with what they're going to need as far as income in retirement. In fact, one of the biggest mistakes that people make before retirement, Investopedia editor Caleb Silver says to Yahoo Finance, it's that people don't do the math on their income and assume instead what they can spend. Here's what he said.
You have to be the CEO of your own life, of your own personal finances. So we ask people to make sure they know what their income replacement strategy is going to be. How much do you need? And then how are you going to fund that? Is that from your savings? Is that from your investments? Do you own other properties? What's your income strategy while you're doing this? Or are you just drawing down from your retirement funds?
Income strategy is what we want to focus on, Abe. So let's talk about how at Abish Financial you help folks create this income strategy.
Look, Heather, everyone wishes they had a crystal ball, right?
Sure.
But with a well-designed, well-thought-out, custom retirement income plan, you don't need a crystal ball because no matter what the future holds, we've planned for it. Yeah. And there is a lot we can't control. There's a lot going on right now in 2024. But all we can do is control what we can. That's our own finances, our own financial and retirement plan, and the income, right? So we just had a couple come in. They live actually down in the Wilmington area, and then they come back to Northern Virginia to visit family and friends, a couple times a year. And when they came on board with us, they had no income plan. In other words, they had no idea how to generate income from their life savings and how much they could generate, which accounts to tap. They're asking, should we take money from this side or this side? And should we take big chunks out if we want to take a trip? And so this is a new phase for people in retirement and a new type of planning. And all we're ever used to when we're working and accumulating is saving and not touching our accounts. The opposite's going to happen when you retire. That is super daunting and intimidating for a lot of people to know that all my wage is done forever. Okay, that's fantastic. You're retiring, but I'm never again going to get a paycheck from my employer. And paychecks are going to start from my life savings. And that's a new type of plan, a new phase of life. And if you're working with an accumulation-based advisory firm, they are not specialists in distribution and income, nor do they want you to take money out of your accounts. We are a phase 2 income planning and distribution firm. So if you're listening right now and you just heard this story and you say, you know what, Abe, we have a few million saved, we have a good amount of money saved, but we're not exactly sure as to how much income we can generate from our life savings, which accounts to tap, how much to take out, income and distribution strategy. Maybe it's RMDs that you're concerned with. Go to our website, theretirementkey.com, click on the Contact Us tab at the top of that page, and we can begin to have conversations about your retirement income with you as well.
We also have links posted in the show notes, so you can just click there if that's more convenient. Or again, find us anytime at theretirementkey.com.
Thanks for listening to the Retirement Key Podcast with Abe Abish. To learn more about Abish Financial Services, visit theretirementkey.com and join Abe for his radio show, The Retirement Key, Saturdays at 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. on WMAL.
Investment advisory services offered through Abish Financial Wealth Management, LLC, number 310633, a registered investment advisor firm. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Abraham Abish is licensed in your state, please call 571-577-9968. Abish Financial Services is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Abish Financial Services, Inc., Virginia Insurance License number 127820.